right, Matt, the Bellator 240 portion of our Dublin card, as tongue-twisting as that may be, we have a really good fight, especially at 170 pounds, a division that's so deep in Bellator, and it's great to see the European series and the bringing of European talent here. We have the Welshman, Lewis Long. He's taken on Sweden's Oliver Enkamp, and this is a really fun matchup because we know what Lewis Long can do, and he can do it very well. His grappling acumen is very high, whereas Oliver Enkamp, we've seen a complete game outside of the UFC, and it just so happens that if you're able to beat Walter Gahaja by rear naked choke in the first round, you're gonna get the other guy that beat Walter Gahaja by first round rear naked choke. That's why we're getting Oliver Enkamp and Lewis Long here in this fight. Matt, a lot of people might be familiar with Oliver Enkamp, and I mentioned that stint in the UFC. It was losses to Nordine Taleb and then Hot Chocolate Danny Roberts by finish. Then he was out. Now he's in Bellator. Still a young guy at 28 years old. Young is Lewis Long as well, and if we go over to Tapology, out of 190 votes, 65% are picking Oliver Enkamp to win. 65% of the 65 are saying he's going to win by decision. This is a really fun fight because I feel like the winner here can continue to build up the ranks on not just the European welterweight scene, but also the complete picture of the Bellator welterweight scene. What do you see here, and what are you excited about?
You see their ceilings is much higher than I do. That's what I see. Oliver Enkamp's okay. He's got good karate, but no power behind it, so it's really odd. In the Nordine Taleb fight, it went to decision. I don't know if you remember that, but he basically threw wheel kicks that landed perfectly that had no effect whatsoever. It was very odd. He throws a lot of cool techniques. He is good on the ground, to be fair, but the problem is if it gets into a grappling exchange, he's good on the ground. Lewis Long's great on the ground. That's kind of the problem. So even if it does go to one of his strengths, his opponent's strength is just a little bit better than his own. And Oliver Enkamp's going to have to get it done on the feet somehow. But that's the problem. He doesn't have great power, so there's nothing that he can throw that's going to make Lewis Long stop moving forward on him constantly and going for takedowns. The problem is, if you have a guy who's really good at takedowns, you can either A, be really good at defending them, or B, make him pay for it every time he misses one. And I don't think Oliver Enkamp has enough power to make Lewis Long pay for every failed takedown attempt. So for that reason alone, I'm picking Lewis Long by submission.
Yeah, I'm taking Lewis Long as well by submission. A lot of people might be surprised by that just based off the name value from Enkamp. And Lewis Long's been around with a lot of different promotions. He's fought some really tough tests as well. We were talking about it before he came on here. Who were some of the names? I know Roberto Soldici lost to him over in Cage Warriors. Had a good win before that. Who else did he fight?
He fought Shea Mills. He's fought a lot of really good guys who have other quality wins or who have been in the UFC. So really high ceiling for Lewis Long. Not nearly as high as Craig made it out to be as the video started. But still, it is a really interesting matchup in the 170 division for Bellator. Probably their best division, if we're being completely honest. So really nice to see where these guys are going after this fight.
Both going with the upset, but you're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for Bellator 239-40 Dublin and UFC Auckland for Fight Night picks. So we always say, let's get into it.